Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our campaign is entitled Intersections. It's part of the World War Cthulhu Cold War series. Matthew Sanderson is our game master, and this is episode 10. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Matt?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. So, last time we left it on a bit of a cliffhanger. I think we'll jump straight back to that. So, the scene, as you may remember, the Galata Bridge brothel that overlooks the Golden Horn. Jacoby and O'Sullivan had gone in there wearing a very distinctive odour of alcohol. They'd gone inside. Jacoby was downstairs with the girls, some of which looked distinctly younger than they should be while they were in there, while O'Sullivan had gone upstairs to have a word with Saduka Arap, one of the contacts that Kazakov named was part of his network in the city. That just moments after being left alone with him and being asked, so you're from out of town, you've got money, her mask of composure dropped, and she is terrifiedly begs, "Get me out of here, there are terrible things happening here." What do you do?
Okay, I was waiting for the train to pass, sorry. What do you mean? Of course the terrible thing is there's sex and disease and booze everywhere.
Oh, it's not just sex. There's far worse. No, there's things in the basement that come up out of a tunnel that goes out to the ocean. They come in, and from that moment, you can hear a door open, not into the room, but you can hear a door open outside, and loud footsteps of what appear to be two men coming down the stairs from the floor above. One of them you might pick up on. Although I'm not sure if you were there and met him. You weren't on the plane in the first episode, were you?
Nope.
Oh, right, okay. You won't have heard the voice before then. But there are two men that are coming downstairs. You hear muffled comments of, "So we're in agreement. The price is acceptable," and the other man responds, and they continue on going downstairs. Jacoby, however, while you're down there, because they are going down towards the ground floor.
Okay.
You heard the bell ring above the door that was under the staircase, and that Darmla had gone down there. She opens the door and descends down into the basement, closing the door behind her. At the same time that these heavy footsteps come downstairs, you recognise the man or at least the voice of the man that's quite cheerfully saying, "So we're in agreement, everything's good. You're going to take care of that right away." You vaguely, as the guy passes the door, recognise the other guy, but the one who's cheerful is definitely Benici.
Benici.
Just make sure I've got the name right there.
Abdullah Benici. That's
him, yeah. Benici. He has got his hands round a guy that you've seen him twice now. This is the guy that was initially in the bar upstairs in the Galata Tower, that had a very rugged appearance, a couple of girls either side of him, and was staring at various people across the room. And he was also the driver for Ekmeche, parked outside the Stanton mansion for the party.
The second that I recognize who it is, I sort of turn just so that I'm not facing directly him, so that he doesn't see my face, just in case.
No problem. They go to the door. Benici shows the other guy out, and he walks away. He turns around and looks into the room where you are, not specifically looking at you, so you've got back to the head, but just points and yells, "You! What have I told you about being down here before? This is way past your bedtime. Get the hell back up to your room." He is gesturing to the young girls in the corner. At which point they look a bit startled. They get up and en masse head upstairs. And he just starts shaking his head and muttering, Christ, for God's sake, I never wanted families in here. And he then starts making his way back upstairs.
I thought for a moment you were talking to me.
He turns around, hearing the voice. He looks at you. No, sorry. I wholeheartedly apologize.
You look like you need a drink. I have some really nice Kulia Brock here. If you'd like to have some with me.
Or even put it down to a persuade roll. You pretty much got his kryptonite. He says, I don't mind if I do, actually. Yeah. He sits down beside you. Have we met before?
Not that I know of.
Oh,
it's my first time here.
Oh, okay. You just got one of those faces. So I apologise for the kids. Some of our staff have had to bring their families in with us for a while. They're new in town and haven't got anywhere else to stay.
I completely understand. I did think some of the clients, some of them looked a little young to be in here, but
yeah.
Just to say something too, it was LeBeau that bumped into him in the airplane. So I only sort of saw him from.
Yeah. That's what I say. He may have seen the face or may recall it, but that's as much of a chance as he gets.
Oh yeah, me and my friend are just sort of hanging around, traveling around, and I hold up my hand and I say Jacob Marsh.
He does a little bit of a double take at that. Yeah, and then raises his hand towards you. Yeah, I'm Abdullah Beniji. Yeah.
Mr. Beniji.
You haven't got relatives in this part of the world, have you?
I don't know. I have relatives back in Massachusetts in the United States.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah. Family goes back a long way. I'm from a little town called Arkham, but I think most of my family comes from the coast, right on the coast. Arkham.
He nods, looking a little bit surprised. Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, nice place you got.
Yeah, we got it a fairly good deal. So
I like your city. It's the first time I've ever been here. It's nice being almost completely surrounded by water.
Yes, it does make transportation a little awkward at times, but we've got a friend with a boat that helps out quite a bit.
Well, if you could swim, I suppose that's not a problem at all.
Oh, for a fisherman, he is probably the one person that's the most terrified of getting in the ocean and having a swim.
This is good stuff. I found out about this the other day. It's delicious.
You can never go wrong with a good bottle like this. And he gladly pours himself a glass and swigs back. Upstairs, cut back to Aiden.
Okay.
Now the coast is clear outside. She turns back to you and says, "There's just horrible things happening.
All right.
Just get me out of here, okay? I can't take any more of it. They want me. They want to take me down there."
What now? What? Look, calm down a second. He's like, first of all, evil things. Are they amphibious? No, aquatic.
She blinks and her eyes open wide. How you know about them?
Not really relevant right now. Why are you coming to me for help? I'm just some old John. You just gonna expect us to fly out of here?
No, but you said you got money.
Well, yeah. I mean, how else would I get into a whorehouse?
Well, anyone can get in as long as they've got something. But some people here come with just a few. There are other ones come. If you've come to me, you must have money.
Yeah, I do. No, hold on a second. How do you expect us to walk out the front door? Do you have a back entrance? Do you have a fire escape?
There's a fire escape that runs down one side of the building, but I don't know. I'm just think of something. I'm out of ideas. I can't get out of here on my own.
And what about all your friends, all the other girls here? Aren't they in danger too?
They're not friends of mine. All my friends are gone. They've all been taken to the mansion upriver. They've got another place, but it's not what they say it is. They just take them there to hand them over, and they scream as they're taken into the river with what those things do to them. They scream.
It's like he probably shakes her just a little bit, not the full on like slap or anything, but just like, all right, you need to calm the fuck down here. You're gonna get us both killed. There's men with guns downstairs. Where do they take you? Is it that they take you into the basement? Is that what you said?
She nods. Some go down into the basement, but not very often. Others get taken away. They get taken away on a boat up the Bosphorus to another location that they've got. It's an old mansion that they've done up, but they've not done up all of it. But the girls think they're going up there to become higher class prostitutes. That they'll take on more wealthy clients, people that will treat them well, so that they don't have to work as much.
Sure.
They get treated like princesses, but that's not what fucking happens. Trust me. I've seen what happens to them.
How do you know? Have you been there? Yes.
Oh. They took me up there, and it was only because Abdullah said that they wouldn't give me to them because I was their best earner. They argued. They really fucking argued. That thing that came out of the ocean where he put his hands, whatever it did, where it put its hands, what it did to me. She just starts shaking and sort of rocking back and forth along by the door.
It's like shit. But she has information, and also she's a human being. So he'll just be like, there, like holds her like close a little bit to try to calm her. I was like, we'll get you out of here, but we need to find another way out. My friend is down at the bottom floor. I can't just leave him here.
Yes, you can.
Actually, I don't know.
That's your voice in your conscience coming.
Maybe that's me thinking, and not the spy version of me. Maybe I can leave him there, But he goes, okay, how far away is the fire escape? Which end of the building? How close are we to it?
She points. It's down you're overlooking the front of the building.
Yep.
The fire escape goes down the other side of the building from where you are. It's not far, but you've got to get through another room to get to it.
Are there guards up here? Are the girls or in the place we need to, or the room we need to get through?
She shakes her head. No, they're downstairs at the moment, but all the guards are downstairs. A lot of the girls are in the front living room, usually waiting for clients to bring back. Just that they keep me up here as their prized jewel.
All right, fine. Well, first, and he looks up and down at her sheer nightie or whatever. He's like, you need to put some fucking clothes on right now, and shoes, good shoes.
I haven't got much.
Just put on what you think is appropriate, where you can hide in the dark. It's nighttime, isn't it? Is it nighttime?
Oh yes.
Okay. Put on dark clothing, good shoes, something to cover yourself up a little bit.
She goes over to the wardrobe and starts flicking through clothes. The best she comes up with is a long velvet-like coat. But it's dark and it's long, but that's about the only thing that she's got that is vaguely practical.
While she's doing that, I'm cracking the door open just barely so I can check the hallway.
As you open the door, you can hear the patter of tiny feet coming up the stairs, and this little army of kids, to say the younger ones downstairs. They start going into the room next to where you are and the room opposite. So you can turn. They open the door up, so it evidently wasn't locked. There's a couple of girls that go into each room.
Into the room that we need to go to?
Yeah.
Of course they do. because is the only answer here. Okay. I'm like, all right, there's a bunch of children and some just went into that room. Are you going to be able to talk your way through it?
She kind of nods her head.
I'm not killing children. I don't care.
No, you don't. No. She pauses for a second and kind of looks down at the floor and says, maybe it might be a better way out for them.
No. Get the authorities to come back and shut this place down and save them. take him to an orphanage or something.
You want the authorities to come here?
I don't know. It doesn't matter right now. You
Christ,
first.
Most of them are clients.
Wait, what did you say? Most of them are what?
Most of them are clients.
I told you. Hurry up. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
All right. Can you get us through that room? Can you make a reason why we're going to go through getting a fire escape or get them out of the room for a minute? I mean, you know them. Can you talk to them? I don't want to scare them and have them running screaming downstairs.
I can.
In their hands.
I'll think of something.
All right.
She heads out.
I say I want to absolutely make sure the coast is clear, but I would let her probably go first, and then shadow her and stay on the other side of the door. All that.
Yeah. She heads pretty much straight across the corridor into the room you need to get to. You can hear a very quick conversation about girls. I need to have a bit of private time with your mother. I think she's coming up in a second, and so there's a little bit back and forth. And yeah, okay, can we go and talk with the others? I kind of gesture towards the room that was bordering yours. So yeah, go on. Just don't make too much noise. You know, I'm the will get annoyed if you make too much noise at this time of night. They scamper out, going past you, but they don't see you round the corner, and they go straight to the other door where the other two kids were. So it leaves you with the room that you need to get through with just Arap in it.
Now wait a second. I listen very hard, and then as stealthy as possible, zip in there and close the door.
Yeah, you hear the talking and giggling of small kids in the room, but otherwise they're not coming back out.
Crazy. I need to drink as alcohol. It's just a good thing I was drinking more. Anyway, is that the window out there?
And she nods. It should be open.
When we close this door, is it locked from the inside in this particular room?
There is a lock for a hole for a key, but there is no key.
All right, yeah, because they all lock them in from the outside.
But there is a chair that you could wedge under the handle if you wanted to try and stop it from opening.
Yep, the old chair trick. Let's do it. Let's do that. Wedge it, and let's get going out that fire escape.
Okay, you start heading down. Back to Jacoby downstairs.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're about halfway through the bottle now, or rather, between you, you're about halfway through the bottle. He sat there. He seems to be. He's got a good constitution. He's enjoying himself, but he's not like rolling around drunk. He's got a big grin on his face.
And I'm like, so you got a nice place here. I like the hospitality, the girls. Although I got to be honest with you, it's not exactly my taste. I have kind of unusual tastes, and comes from I guess I was raised in a different environment, you might say.
Look, you've got to raise an eyebrow towards you. What do you mean, unusual taste?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure that it's something that you could easily accommodate. I mean, we're not talking about any weird stuff. I'm not into little girls or anything like that. But,
he looks like he's about to lay a hand on your shoulder, and then you say about little girls, and he just again pulls back a little bit. Whoa! Well, even I draw the line somewhere. I mean, that's
good. I'm just well.
What kind of freaky stuff do you mean? I mean, I know people who know other people who do some pretty bizarre things.
Well, I gotta tell you, I've always had this weird fantasy. I don't share it with many people, but
doesn't involve shitting on people, does it? I've heard that.
No. Not into that stuff either. I'm not German, for Christ's sake.
He chuckles.
Or Dutch. No.
I've seen them put some appendages in some very, very weird places, and it's not just in a dam.
I guess I kind of got this thing for mermaids, if you know what I mean.
He blinks quite long and pointedly. Give me a persuade roll.
Sure. What's my persuade? My persuade is 80. And I got 25.
He gets up, putting a hand on your shoulder, says, correct me if I'm wrong, but did I hear a bell earlier?
Mm-hmm. I was talking to Dama, and then she jumped up and left when the bell rang. I didn't know what that was all about. Lovely woman.
Yeah. Sir, it might be your lucky night.
Mm.
He just gestures for you to follow him, and he starts heading out to the corridor with this big grin on his face.
Okay, I also have one.
We'll leave you tantalizingly there for the minute.
And believe me, my character's like, oh boy, I'm not going to fuck it, but boy, I want to talk to it.
Oh dear. Right, who shall we go to next? I think we'll go to Robert and Natalia, because events are linked to what's happening there. So you are at the tourism police station, waiting for a detective to come down to you. Or had you made contact with him? That bit I couldn't remember.
I don't remember either.
Let's say for sake of quickness, then that I remember that I'd mentioned his name because it was Vahit Madariji was the guy that you were going to speak to. That having identified him and he came down, he is the contact that was named in the discussion with Kazakov. He is one of his people.
Okay.
That he comes down to the what is now the two of you, with Combs having stepped outside after what seemed like quite a long wait for you guys there. He got a bit impatient and headed out saying, I'll be back in a few minutes, but he has yet to come back. Vahit comes downstairs and takes a look at you after the desk sergeant has called him down. You can see there's a little bit of a hushed conversation between them. He gestures towards you two sat on a couple of the seats in the waiting area. He wanders over, drawing on a cigarette that he then just drops on the floor and stamps on quite pointedly. So you two are the lady and gentleman that want to have a word regarding the Bardem case, yes?
Yes.
Oh, you have new information about the case? What's your interest here?
Robert?
I'm going to be honest. I only tagged along with Steve because he asked me to go. So,
okay, looks like he's left you in the lurch.
Yeah, I'm rather confused why we're here, to be honest. So I'm kind of like looking at Natalia awkwardly.
But yeah, because he had some information that we did, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think he was looking into it because of the connection with the Black Brotherhood, looking into the map that had the hole burnt out on the chest of the body. There were certain elements of the story that you were told by Kazakov that didn't appear in the newspaper, but logically so, because it would be information that would have been kept in a police report.
Right. Okay. So, and I imagine he explained that to us. So, I'll repeat that bit of information to him, and we were trying to find more details of that particular case.
Oh. Okay.
We could go through some of the police reports, and
he nods to himself and looks between you. Okay, that's understandable. Yeah, they certainly don't print everything in the newspapers. It would be a bit stupid if they did. Although I've never had that much respect for journalists anyway.
Mm.
You don't strike me as the journalist types, though. He looks between both of you.
No, I'm not a journalist.
No.
So what's your interest? You also don't look like you're from around here. I doubt you're related to the Bardems.
No, we're doing a private investigation. We see these reports, please. I don't want to. I mean, as a last resort, I will flash the CIA thing, but I'm trying to get as much as I can without having to tap into anything like that. So,
fair. Well, he is playing by the book, and when you say you're conducting a private investigation, he wants to see your private investigator licenses.
Okay, I guess then I will pull out my CIA badge and say this type of private investigation.
He looks at it and almost seems you can hear that he holds his breath as he looks at it and then looks back up at you again.
And I'll give him a serious look, like I'm not here to play, I don't want to be dancing around all day with words. Just give me what we want and we can be on our way. I mean, that's the look I'm giving him. So it's his more or less stern Russian look.
Your choice, intimidate or persuade?
Oh boy. Let's see. What do I have? Which is better? I will have to go with persuade.
Okay, so you'll be nice at the minute.
Yeah. All right. And I didn't pass that. I got a 57 out of a 35.
Ooh. Okay, bit much on the lock side. Do you want to push it?
You know what? Yeah, let me push it.
Oh,
we don't do that much in this game.
Oh boy, here we go. Drum roll.
And that is a worse roll. That is a 66 out of 35.
Oh, this is an unknown arm. It's not a match failure. Right. He looks up at you and again looks back down at the badge and then looks up again. You know, we have a resident agent from MIT that frequently has an office or at least a desk that we grant him here. And we've had the dubious honor of having to play host to people such as yourselves before. Unless you can provide an official request through MIT, the legitimate authority in this country, I don't have to give you a goddamn fucking thing. And he pushes you back.
He puts his hands on me?
Yeah. There is a real degree of hatred in his voice, and he's almost like he's pushing something back he's disgusted with. He physically tries to push you back.
Can I try a grappling move the moment that he puts his hands on me?
You certainly can, yeah.
And that is a 14 out of 45.
Okay, this will be against his fighting brawl. I'm going to count it that you're the aggressor in this instant.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't that be... Oh, well, I guess. I'll let you do it that way.
It also means that the tie goes in your favor as well. So,
okay.
So, he has a fighting brawl skill of 55 and rolls... I have a reputation, it seems, whenever I pick up dice that they just don't work. You beat 98 by quite a long way.
Oh, my.
Okay. So the moment he pushes me, I grab his hand and put it in a sort of a Aikido lock or something like that, some sort of martial art type lock.
Oh, you have him bang to rights. He's not moving.
And I throw his head down onto the desk, and I say, I would appreciate it if you don't put your hands on me, sir. Now,
you can hear him grunt and mutter and swear underneath his breath.
I'll put a bit more pressure on, and I will say, now about the paperwork that we're looking for.
You can hear that there is a little bit of attention coming in your direction, specifically as the desk sergeant is standing up and having a look at what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say, now you have a choice here. I'll let you go. You show us the paperwork that we're looking for, and we'll be on our way. Or I will go back to MIT. I will let them know that you assaulted me physically, and then we can take it from there. The choice is up to you.
I'll give you another persuade or intimidate option, but this time you get a bonus dice.
Okay. And that is a 7 out of 35. So that's an extreme, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so 8 is 40. So yeah, just an extreme. Right, he waves a hand, and you can see him kind of frantically gesturing in the direction of the desk sergeant to sit the fuck back down. And he just says, "Okay, we can go up to my office."
All right. I smile. I'll release him. I pat him on his shoulder. I'm like, "Thank you. That's all we needed."
He promptly just glares at you and just gestures for you, both of you, to follow him upstairs. All the way, he is like Muttley, muttering under his breath, "Fucking American, Russian, CIA," heading all the way upstairs. Leads you up to his office, which is, if there was a visual example alongside the entry for untidy or disorganized in the dictionary, it would be his office. There is paper everywhere. There are files everywhere. If there is any order to this, it certainly is not logical. But he just goes over to his desk, sits down. He's got a front-facing office, which means he must have at least some degree of power in the tourism police. Sits down in his chair. The window's open to get a bit of breeze coming through. It's still fairly warm. Mm-hmm. He starts rootling around in some of the papers, and then pulls up a file and just drops it in front of you. Because I think that's what you're looking for.
I'll pick it up and I'll thumb through it. Okay. Is it what we're looking for?
It certainly is. It's the whole case file for the Barden murders. There's a fairly good, comprehensive, what we would term nowadays forensic report, going over the crime scene, saying this was found, this was found, this was found. Okay. There is no mention of a map at all, but that's not to say that Kazakov didn't remove it beforehand.
Okay.
But more damningly, there's no evidence of the victims having been tortured. They were both. One of them looks like the wife looks like she fell and hit her head on the floor, and it was just a sheer accident how she landed that she died, hitting her head on something on the way down. But it looks like the husband was shot execution style right in the point blank in the back of the head. Mm. With no sign of anything else having been done to him.
I see.
I turned to Natalia. I think, were we told that there was torture involved? Do we see any signs of that?
Well, no. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of signs. The wife seems to have died accidentally. The husband has seemed to be murdered or executed, I should say. Shot to the head. It was clean. No mention of torture, though. Also, no mention of some strange map. So it looks like our friend Kozakov isn't as reliable as he's trying to dissuade us that he is. So
the minute you mention the Kazakov name, Vahit looks a little say confused, and turns to you and says, "What does he have to do with any of this?"
He may have been involved in this whole thing.
At that moment, there's
part of our investigation. We can't really speak more about that, but if what my theory is, if my theory is correct, then Klazakov is involved in this. So
he looks at you, but then
I'm sorry.
Like,
I'll say if that is the case, he's a very, very dangerous man, and we would like it that none of the local authorities get involved for their safety.
He scratches his head and thinks, but the man's got the best interests of. At that second, it's like someone punches him in the back. He rocks forward, and his eyes go a little bit unfocused, and he slumps to the over the edge of the seat. He's not dead, but he's just been shot in the back of his shoulder.
I'll withdraw my gun.
Okay. Can I have a spot hidden roll from both of you, please?
Yes.
Did we hear
that?
That
is a 29 out of 60.
Okay.
I actually got an 02.
Ooh.
Oh, wow, okay. LeBeau, because you said did you hear anything? From this distance, no. But looking through the window that's open behind him, you do catch an impression of someone across the way on a building opposite, on the rooftop, holding what looks to be a suppressed rifle.
I will get down.
Yeah,
and I will tell you to get down, and I will try to pull this officer down as well.
Okay, yeah. He's still alive. He's just he's taken a fair hit, but he's not dead. And you take cover. We'll skip back to Postgate. So, you are leaving the university, and whereabouts are you planning to head from there?
I'm going to head back to the apartment, but I'll take what might be described as the scenic route, and I'm keeping an eye out behind me because I have inadvertently tipped off the opposition, I think.
Yeah, you certainly gave someone a scare. Now, if I'm right as well, Somerton is also heading back to the apartment because you're going back with Donaldson, yes?
That is correct.
So in which case, Postgate, even though you're taking a somewhat scenic route, because Donaldson wanted to have a nice long conversation and share a decanter of whiskey on the way back, you find you're actually taking a similar route to a rather nice Bentley.
Do I recognise that Bentley?
Yeah, I think because you've been to the British Embassy, the British Consulate. Yeah, this is a car that you will have seen outside there before. The driver looks relatively familiar. Yeah, it doesn't look as though he's deliberately following you, but it seems like because he's paying more attention to the road and the scenery passing by than he is specifically to your car. But you are heading in the same general direction.
I'll keep going in the direction I'm going. I'll keep an eye out in the mirror.
Okay. In which case, you both end up pulling up outside the apartment.
Okay.
Which case, Donaldson turns to Somerton and says, yeah, if you're able to help me out with my predicament, I would be very much appreciative. And I'm sure there's another... we can arrange some more of the... he points towards the decanter to come your way as well, if you like. Just as a nice token between friends.
Sure, between friends. I'll talk to Mr. Smith and see what's going on and see if I can give you some insight into what Consul Alcott is so worried about.
He nods. Well, I think we have an understanding. He opens the door for you and sort of gets out to hold it for you and says, hope you have a good evening.
All right. So I get out of the car and I'm still holding the tumbler. I catch Postgate's. I catch his eye. I drain the glass, hand it back to Donaldson, and
he smiles until the point where he sees Postgate, and then you can just see this look of terror, or at least worry, come across his face.
I'll give him a wave.
He just holds up a hand and nods. Says,
And he goes, drive, drive, drive.
He says,
Hurry, hurry.
good to see you again. Sorry, I can't stop. I've got some.
Look at the time. Look at the time. I don't know why.
Indeed, yes. My wife would be wondering where I've got to. Ciao. And he
gotta wash my hair.
He dives into the car and it pulls away, not like tire screechingly fast, but pulls away with a certain swiftness.
Still got it.
And it leaves you two alone on the street outside.
Well, I'll intercept Somerton before we go into the apartment. Because, I don't want to talk about this in the apartment.
Sure.
For obvious reasons. We appear to have something of a situation developing.
Talk to me. What's up?
I went to see Ekmechi, and his reaction to my visit was novel, to say the least. Of all the reactions I'd expected, him saying, "You weren't supposed to be here now," wasn't the one that I'd figured on. I then had to sort of, very unsuccessfully, I think, try and bluff my way out of him asking me if I was cloaked.
And upon hearing the word cloaked, that's when Ian just kind of go, he knows it's kind of gone to a different level where we've kind of, the streams are crossing. The CIA and Section 46, we've kind of reached that point where it's getting real and, the stakes are kind of being raised at this time.
No, and Ekmechi is considerably more than just some MIT asset.
Appearances can be deceiving, as we know.
He's into something. I mean, everything he said made it seem as though he has a similar ability to the other group, the ones who cloaked us.
Oh, bloody hell. So now we've got wizard.
He could
we
be
have
the
dueling
rogue player.
wizard.
Wondering if he's the reason why they cloaked us, in which case it's rather unfair of them not to have told us that before.
Agreed.
Theoretically, at any point, any of us could have bumped into him and that would have given the game away. As it was me. I tried to bluff my way through it by feigning ignorance because,
that's what you do.
Pretending to be stupid is a very useful tool when dealing with people. It makes them feel like they have an innate superiority over you, and that can be very useful. But I don't think he bought it. Having said that, he let me walk out there.
Yeah, and I seriously doubt that if he didn't need you in some way, shape, or form, maybe to get back to Urgul or something of that nature. It's almost like we've got dueling wizards or some nonsense. So,
well, it makes sense. I mean, after all, he knew that I was awake when the rest of you were asleep when he turned up at the apartment. So,
yes. It turns out that neither of you are as stupid as you seem to be.
I don't think anyone could be as stupid as I seem to be.
Nice tie.
Yes, thank you. It's Brooks Brothers.
I approve. Well, let's wait. I guess we just wait and see till the others come back. I want to check up on the spirit of Havana, or the heart of Havana. Check up on the boats. Open up another bottle, I guess.
Do we know where that's arriving, that ship?
Do I know that, Matt?
Yep, it's coming in to the it's pronounced the Haida Pusher, or it looks like Hydra Passer, Haida Pusher port, which is the large deep sea container port and train station terminus.
Now, it was suggested outside the game I'll run this by you. If they're transferring something to the ship, might that something be at the docks already waiting to be transferred?
It could. It depends on a few factors.
We also discussed that, and we really didn't have any type of technology that could cover the thousands upon thousands of containers that were already there at the port. You know, it's almost like we need to wait until the ship docks, and then or at least get there before the ship docks, get eyes on it, and maybe that's when we start inspecting what the hell's being taken, what's being put on the boat.
Yeah, logically that would be the more safer option, that it doesn't linger around in the port and wouldn't be risking being found if they had it timed so that it arrived when the boat arrived.
It's almost, that's when the Geiger counters or whatever needs to come out. But, we've already discussed the possibility of lead lining, where there really where there'd only be trace radiation, which may be indistinguishable from background radiation just naturally occurring or whatever. So I'm not sure if
we've no idea what passes through that port illicitly anyway. The background radiation in that port could be unusually high for all we know.
True. And then it would be masked.
Where we are in the world, it's a smuggling hotspot.
Are you going into the apartment and continuing the discussion, or are you wanting to stay outside?
I think we can make our way in. I think we're both savvy enough to know that we're not going to talk openly about these matters in a bugged apartment. Right.
So you're heading up to the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. As you are stood up there, then just getting the idea of whereabouts you are. Both of you, for a second, feel this weightlessness start to develop around you. Even the table that you've got set up, the garden chair set, starts to rise very slightly off the ground, only maybe a centimetre or two.
I'm going to start looking about me.
Mm-hmm. You can feel that from behind you, space is folding very much as it had done before. Seeing it happen and seeing it manifest, can I both have a sanity check from you, please?
Yes, you can.
Row.
That's 36 out of 70.
I rolled a 36 as well, but I actually failed my sanity roll by 1.
Ooh, okay. But you only lose the 1 point from failure.
Okay.
So otherwise, Postgate's fine with this. What you see is it's almost as if space lengthens and expands in this area in front of you, in forming a human outline. And that it only takes a couple of seconds, but from that extended space, almost like a tunnel rushing forward towards you, you find Vahidi stood in front of you. She looks between you, not expecting to see two people here, but then looks towards Postgate and sees the tie, and she breathes a big sigh of relief and says, I'm glad you've accepted my request. You and the turns to Somerton, both of you are in danger.
Yes, we guessed that.
Yeah, he was furious. He came to me not long after you left and said that you're obviously working for the other side. I mean, are you? But what's going on here? How do you fit into all this? Up until previously, we could see you, and even now I've tried. I can't see you anymore.
Well, we're not working for anyone but ourselves. I mean, we work for the agency. That's who we are, and that's what we're doing. We're not working for one of the other factions in Istanbul. If that's what you're suggesting.
And she just shakes her head and says, "This is all getting way out of control. Way. I'm out of my depth. I just want out now."
Well,
let's just put it this way: there's a new player on the field now, and that's who we represent.
Oh boy.
What can I do to help you?
Ideally, I want out of here, but the problem being that, well, not a problem. I can hide from him. He can't find me. He can't scry and work out where I am if I keep maintaining to be cloaked. But he is going to go apeshit. I mean, he was already talking about trying to bring in his pet killer and setting him after you. Setting Axley after you. I mean, he wants you dead because he thinks that you're with them.
Who are them?
The Tesseract?
Is that what they call themselves? All I know is that he said he wouldn't be able to go through with his plan until the board was clear. That the Avatar won't allow the city to be contaminated by another presence, not another deity that's similarly aligned. He believes it's someone mucking around with some pretentious being Daeloth. But he knows that if he calls Toel Omar here and tries to open the ultimate gate, it's not going to work. It's more likely going to destroy him and destroy everything if he tries to do this and make an offering when he knows that the city isn't prepared.
I see. So, is he working for himself or on behalf of another faction?
He wants to become a god. He's very much in it for himself.
Ah, I see. Something of a megalomaniac, then.
Well,
isn't two gods fighting enough? We have to get we have to get a third party in here.
He doesn't care. He is quite happy to level the field. All he is interested in is ascending to become another ancient one. I mean, hell, I was going to join him, but I didn't want anyone to die. As far as I was concerned, it was just I make the silver key, we open the gate, and then that's it. It happens.
And do you have this key?
I've spent months crafting it. Yes, it's ready. Everything was ready until the point where we found that someone had fucked up. And so that these other people had just come into the scene and messed the whole situation up. If they weren't here, we would be gone. We would be in limbo. We'd be omnipotent. But no, someone had to go and fuck the whole thing up.
So that's Dalev.
Yes, he knows that he'll see it as an abomination. It's something that plays with time and space. A realm that purely should be for Yog-Sothoth and his avatar. If they'd not come here, no one would have been hurt. Everything would have been fine.
Was Ekmechi involved in the cull of other cultists?
Yeah, she nods. Yeah, he gathered me. He gathered, how to say, his pet killer. Arxoi, and then started looking for anyone that would potentially represent a problem or an abomination in the eyes of the god. And he identified all those that needed to be taken out. He then paid his little pet assassin to take them out all in one go.
Matthew? Can you say the pet assassin? Can you say that name a bit slower?
It's pronounced Axoi.
Axoi? Mm-hmm. Okay. And is this a person?
Yeah, he nods. Yeah, he was. Melik was working for the drug cartels up until about a year ago, and then he swooped in and stopped the guy from dying. He foreseen that Melik was going to get killed in some raid down at the docks. That there was a defector or something was being brought in, but they hadn't said what they thought it was drugs. They didn't realize it was some Soviet coming in, and there was a gunfight that took place. The CIA fronted off against the guys bringing this guy in. There was though there was a lot of people that got gunned down. Even a poor little kid got gunned down in the whole thing. But Suleiman just swept in and said, "This is what's going to happen to you tonight. You're not going to the dock." And so, of course, Melik thinks that he owes his life to him now, so he'll do anything the Tin Pot God says.
And you think that this assassin is going to be dispatched after me specifically?
He was trying to get in contact with him, but it looks like he's already on another case or another job that he's got. He's already been contacted to take someone else out, but he was ringing everywhere he could trying to get hold of him.
Where is this key of yours?
It's in the Anders Tower. We have a workshop set in the basement that Suleiman played the odds in some casinos, won a huge amount of money, and brought the tower. He converted it so it's been turned into a restaurant so that it's covered. But the basement has a workshop that I've been using for the last few months to build the silver key, and then he has a ritual room set there. He's been creating gate boxes. He's been setting up his network of bolt holes and so on, and doing the research he needs to try and become one of the ancient ones.
Do you think this is a realistic my mind's gone blank. I can't think of the word. You think he stands a chance of actually doing this?
He wouldn't be the first. Others have passed through the gate and joined their ranks before. I mean, most of them weren't human to begin with, but they come from other places and other times and other worlds. But there are former humans among their ranks. It is possible.
I see. That's very worrying.
Speaking of worrying stuff, what's Eamon doing on the fire escape?
All right, back. We're taking it down.
Okay. You start running the hell down then. It makes a bit of a clatter by the time you get down towards the ground floor. Can I have a stealth check so that you make too much noise between you?
Sure.
Get the last bit down.
If it starts rattling, I'll try to go slower, but yeah, stealth check. That is a 50. Let's see what we can do. I rolled a 72. So that's not good. Boy, do I want to push this roll, though? I mean, Wayne already had such good luck tonight, so why not? Why not two of us?
At the minute, you realise that this thing is making a lot of noise, so you end up stopping, thinking of kind of weighing up what your options are. Your attempt to push it will basically represent you going for hell for leather down there, trying to do, if you are going to make noise, you try and do it over the least amount of time possible.
Oh, so like, still gonna make noise, but be quicker and get down off there faster.
And run the risk. Well, not run the risk, but make it less likely that someone hears you because they don't obviously hear it over as long a period. So there's less things for them to notice.
Oh gosh, I've already decided in my mind that I'm gonna take the gamble because I like to gamble. So
go ahead.
Here we go. Let's see what we can do. Come on, let's roll it. I rolled an 89. So
that's my kind of rolling. Right. In which case, you get to the end, you run along the last length of the fire escape towards the ladder that then drops down. You hear a clunk, clunk, clunk as you head over there and pull the lever so the ladder drops down.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has not paid much care to that ladder. Not only does it slide, it keeps on going, screeching metal as it does, and then completely falls off and hits the deck, making this almighty clatter in the alley next to the building. Jacoby, inside, you have your dear friend Abdullah. He's just about to put his hand to the door leading down to the basement when he says, I think I say that you might be a lucky man tonight, but this is something that I think would require, let's say, payment up front. You won't be disappointed, I can tell you that now.
How much?
How much have we got?
$250.
He immediately smiles. Seems like you've hit a number higher than he was going to ask. But,
Yeah.
250 sounds fine to me. If you could hand that over now, then I'll escort you downstairs.
Yeah. So I pull out the cash.
Okay. You can see the lira signs kind of clashing away in his eyes. He takes it. He doesn't bother to count it too much. He just looks at the wad of cash and puts it in his pocket, and then opens the door. If you'd like to head on down.
Are you coming with me?
Oh yeah, I'll let you go down first.
All right.
I don't want to get in the way of your view.
Excellent. Well, I go down. I'm very excited. I want to see a fish person so bad.
Okay. As you head down, you almost have a bit of a flashback. The smell is the first thing that hits you.
Let's see.
But then also the sound as well. This guttural alien voice that, even though it's speaking in Turkish, could no way be mistaken as human. And it's you can hear the tail end of a conversation that's happening between Damla and this being down there. It says, "You better make sure that the next shipment of girls are on their way. We're still having to deal with the repercussions of the attack on our city. We need more meat. We need more girls." And as you work your way down the wooden staircase, you can hear the door being shut behind you fairly quietly. You have a good vantage point to see the room beneath you. There's what looks to be the top of an old well that was here. But then there is a definite smell of seawater having come through it now. Definitely it's been dug down through the well and out under the, I was going to say the word is now, the promenade in front of the building that then connects into the Golden Horn. Standing at the edge of the well is this. In fact, give me a luck roll first of all.
16.
You're lucky. This, if you could think of it as female figure that has otherwise part humanoid and part amphibian features. 2 big eyes, a mouth that almost stretches from one side of the face to the other with teeth like a shark, webbed hands, scales, and the impression of breasts. And a few feet in front of her is Damla, that's nodding and that says, "We'll arrange for the next shipment to come." And she starts turning when she realizes that the creature in front of her is looking up at you on the staircase. A very happy Benici then says from behind, "Don't worry, he likes the fish."
This
I'm
guy.
moving slowly down the stairs. I'm mesmerized. I'm in awe. And when I get to the bottom of the stairs, I turn back towards Benici and I say, "I've made a mistake." I say, I imagine you know that people coming to your brothel are not always telling you their real names. I've deceived you, and I regret it at this point.
He looks at you. You're not getting a refund if that's what you're going on about.
No, not at all. And I say, please forgive me for deceiving you in who I am. And then I tell him, my real name is Dr. Jason Jacoby. And about 10 years ago, I saved the life of Mr. Jacob Marsh.
The creature instinctively kind of looks at you and looks between Abdullah at that point, evidently surprised.
I realized, because I had to perform surgery on him to save his life, that he wasn't like other people. And since then, I have wanted to meet your, and I look at her and I say, your people. I mean you no harm. In fact, if I can assist you in any way, you mentioned some sort of an attack. I know your biology, at least in part. I can help you if you're injured. I want only to know you better. You're magnificent. You're beautiful. I say.
You have a choice of skills here. You can use charm. You can use persuade. And I'll even buy psychology as well as a way of trying to empathize and trying to break down any barriers that she might have.
My strongest one is persuade. So I got 74, but I have an 80 in persuade. So
okay,
I just succeed.
Okay, in which case then, when the almighty sound of the ladder outside drops, she doesn't instinctively dive down the hole and run out. She stays where she is. You can see she looks around panicked, but you can see Damla turns to Abdullah and just says, "Find out what the fuck that was." And he heads back up the stairs and opens the door and heads out. You can hear him yelling to the guards that are stationed in the back room. Otherwise, the creature turns back towards you and just takes a couple of steps forward.
And I stand my ground, but I sort of motion as is it all right if I touch you? I just kind of want to make sure you're real, you know.
She comes right up close and personal and has a long sniff around your neck and in your face.
And I what I'm doing at this point is, because my drawing skill, I am memorizing every detail that I can of this being.
Yeah, she looks at you and nods. So I don't smell any fear on this one. So you had nothing to do with the great metal beast that was sent to us.
A great metal beast?
Yeah, some nights ago, this great metal cylinder appeared above our city. It stopped hovering in the ocean and started to deploy a long reel like a whip with a ball at the end of it that started rising into the sky. We assumed it was an attack, so we sent a Shoggoth to destroy it. It ate through the hull, and then it killed everyone that was inside. The remains of it fell at the bottom of the Bosphorus Canyon, and it's lying there ever since.
Are you describing a submarine or a? You say it was a ship that you say a metal ball on a string.
She goes over the description she goes over the description she has for it. Give me an int roll, or actually Edu is more likely in this case.
Okay. Well, I got an 81. My education's not that high, but I'm guessing that it's a bathysphere. Were they trying to spy on you, or?
You catch bits of what she's describing, and you don't get the whole picture, because especially this thing she's describing about this thing going up on a line that was going up towards the surface. That doesn't make much sense to you, but the way the rest of she describes it, it sounds like a Victor II. It's a Soviet sub.
Yeah, it sounds like a submarine for sure. I don't know anything about that, but I will see what I can do to find out.
She nods and says, "This is acceptable. If you wish to help us, find who did this and find if they have any further intent towards us. Because if they come again, there's going to be war."
Okay. There's something else I should tell you.
He cocks his head.
Jacoby's just spelling a whole bunch of shit. He's too excited. He says, in the world of men, if I can talk about the world of men, there are many different groups. Some of them are friendly. Some of them are very dangerous. There is a group of men that want to cause other men to go to war. And we believe that they have planted an explosive device, a nuclear device, if you know what that is, somewhere here in Istanbul. If that goes off, if you have a colony off the coast, you won't be safe. It'll destroy everything.
It nods. Our nearest colony is at the bottom of the Bosphorus Canyon, some 2 miles down. We've not had any threat up until this point. We consider ourselves deep enough that none of the devices of men would reach this far.
Well, this may be a device like you've never seen before. It can destroy islands, can destroy everything around it. We are trying to stop this from happening. There's a ship, the Heart of Havana, which is traveling into port sometime in the next week. If it arrives, that's when the bomb is due to go off. So I don't know if you could help us find it or stop it. It would at least give us time to find the device and destroy it.
I will have to have a word with Marsh and see what he can do.
May I come back and see you again?
She nods. You can see us in several places. We don't just come here. There is a mansion further up the river that we also frequent. She gives you the address. I can't actually find the correct pronunciation of it off the top of my head. Oh, here it is. Rumali Kavahi.
Rumali Kavahi.
There's a mansion with a dock there. Come to us.
Is there a way I can, since I won't necessarily meet Mr. Abdullah, like a password or a secret word I can use to assure them that I'm safe?
If you say you've come to see Jacob Marsh, then the people there will let you through.
All right.
At this point, I need to see whether there's gunfire outside. So,
yeah,
Eamon has dropped a clanger, quite literally in this case.
Yeah.
And you've got a drop of about somewhere between 8 and 10 feet to get down onto the ground now. Arup is looking petrified by the amount of noise that's just been made, just kind of gripping onto the railing. You can hear that there's definitely commotion inside, but it's still very much inside at the moment. So what do you do?
So the ladder's gone down, but it's still not all the way down to the ground?
That is fallen off completely. So it's shot down the railing, and then it's gone and fell off. Like I said, it hasn't been maintained.
Well, I mean, I was going to let her go first, but there's no ladder, so I'm going to have to go first and try to catch her, is my immediate thought. So I'm like, we're going to hold right here for a second. I don't break me fucking legs when I jump, and you're going to jump into my arms. And we got to run after that. That was really loud. So
she just nod, or rather, somewhere between nod and rocks back and forth, holding on to the railing.
I don't blame her. I forgot to do a psych roll on her earlier, but you've convinced me, at least for now, that she is purely terrified, and I'm in the right here. So
yeah, you don't need a roll to work that out. She is bricking it.
Okay, that's all I need to do the right thing, and at least in my opinion, I suppose. So I'm gonna have to do the hard thing of, getting down to where I'm hanging down as low as I can, and then just dropping and trying to hit and roll real quick, and just try to make as soft as landing as possible. And It's gonna be tough, I know, but yeah.
Your choice of a hard dex roll or jump.
Hard dex or jump. Jump is 20. Hard dex is 25. So that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Legs, don't break on me now. Let's do it. You're totally going to break on me now. I rolled an 81. It's not,
okay.
I have to fire my dice real quick.
This is why I have a whole wall full of them, because they keep letting me down too.
Now, if I push the roll, this is a severely bad one, and I don't have the luck, so I think I'm just going to have to go with whatever you tell me at this point here.
Yeah. If you were to push it, I would just up the damage to maximum. But in this case, you are falling one story, which equates to 1d6.
Okay. Do I just roll it against myself?
Yeah.
All right. So d6. We got this all night. Let's do it. I rolled a 2.
Okay. You land with a bit of a bump. Nothing breaks.
Yeah. I'm like, all right now, lass. I'm gonna have to do what I did and hang and then fall into my arms. But you have to hurry if you want to get out of here alive.
Okay. She is terrified enough, but not terrified too much to the point where she won't move. But definitely, she will jump, or rather, step off the railing.
Not exactly how I wanted to do it, but she just probably wants to get out of there. So, yep.
Oh, hell yes.
Okay.
She hasn't got a jump skill above base, so she's going to go with her dex, or half dex. You can roll it for me. She has a half dex of 35.
Okay, so she is rolling, and I'm trying to still catch her when she comes down, right? Okay, so I roll a 58.
Okay, that means that she just steps off and then starts flailing as she falls. You then have the chance to catch her, which will be that will be your choice of hard strength or hard dex.
Oh, definitely strength then. I gotta get some new dice real quick. I can't risk it. I'm sorry.
As I say, I have a large pot already and waiting for me, so when they mess up, I'll just pick the next one.
I should make you roll for me, but no. All right, here we go. Got 2 new dice. Strength is an 80, so hard is 40, and let's roll it. 35.
All right.
There you go. Those ones are on the good pile for the moment.
These ones are staying on. These ones are going to bye-bye. All right.
Right, in which case, she flails. She shrieks a little bit as she falls uncontrollably. And then you're there ready, arms out, sort of being able to grab her and not just go down like a sack of potatoes when she lands in your arms. And then she looks up at you and just says, "Thank you. Run now?"
Run. Run the hell out. Let's go.
You can hear the front door and the back door opening as there are people coming out from inside. You can hear the sound of running footsteps. Do you want to go towards the back of the building, or do you want to go out towards the front where you're then overlooking the Golden Horn?
I thought we were on the back side of the building.
You're on the side of the building, not the back.
Oh, it was the side? Are we between other buildings, or do we have open street? Or we're like in an alley?
You're in an alley at the minute, so there's another building across from you, which is the same kind of layout, the same kind of apartment block as the one you just come out of. To your left, it then goes out onto this wide promenade that then goes out onto the Golden Horn. To your right, it goes out into what looks to be a set of small back courtyards for the apartment blocks. You can see there is what looks to be a small road that cuts across at a T-junction, probably for the likes of car access for the people that have cars in the apartment.
Is there? And I'm assuming there's no doors to this other building across from me? A quick glance, any doors in the alley with us?
Give me a luck roll.
Right. Let's do that with an 81. That's not going to work for. That ain't going to work for luck roll. Hey, what is my luck? No. Nope. So no doors is what you're saying.
No, the closest there is a small window which looks like it goes into a basement, but it's really small.
Okay, no. So we can run basically towards out front. You said the Golden Horn, like publicly, or out the back by some apartments and road access or drive access. Yeah,
there's basically the public route and the discreet route.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know as a spy what's better here, because if I'm gonna have to be shooting people, I best not do it in public. But being in public, means that sometimes I don't know what it's like here. Like as far as, I mean, the prostitution. This is legal, right? This is a legal business.
It's frowned upon. Let's say that.
But women are not slaves there, right?
Oh hell no.
So if we were pursued in public, I mean, if a woman didn't want to be captured, shanghaied back in.
Mm-hmm. It depends on the people you've got out there, whether they're going to instinctively run, duck for cover, or if you do have some brave soul there that decides to be a knight in shining armor and stand in the way of someone with a gun.
Okay, one more question then. How many cabbies are in this area? How many cabs, or how likely is it to find a cab out front?
Not too difficult at all. You're very near the Galata Bridge, as mentioned. That's why the place gets its name, like the Galata Bridge brothel. On there, it's a major thoroughfare that heads into Bearloo to the north and then going across the Golden Horn to the south. You would be very, very, very unlucky if you did not get a taxi out there.
Well, just rolled an 81 on my luck. However, let's go to the front. Let's go public here. And as I probably have one hand on her hand and I'm pulling her along, and she's probably trying to, keep up best she can. And in my other, I probably have my gun out at this point and just low at my side, but I'm just trying to hustle. Or maybe, I mean, if I imagine it's here, maybe I'm running like this with it tucked, just ready to draw, and go out to the streets and try to hail a cab or get down the street to a cab as quickly as we can.
That works. Okay, we're going to have a small chase. Can you give me a con roll, please?
All right. I've never done a chase before. Con roll. That should be no problem. The con is 70. Let's give it a rock here. I rolled a 47. So it's not a hard, but it is a success.
Okay, that is fine. It means that you move at your normal move rate, which is...
what is my... 8.
Okay. Well, 75 is way in excess of the con of your opponents. So they drop from their normal speed of 7 to 6. This gives you quite an advantage over them. It gives you 3 movement actions as opposed to their 1. So, dex for yourself is...
My dex is a 50.
Okay, actually you're tied with them then. Arap has a dex of 70. So she is going to be running and actually gaining ground on you. She legs it first and leaps like a gazelle.
Okay, so now she's pulling me behind her.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, follow me. Suddenly she has some guts and she starts running with this long black coat flying behind her like a cape and then revealing quite a bit underneath.
I'll let her hand go, so my hand is free. If Fear and her own good dex are driving her, then I'm happy to be behind to be the defense, I suppose. So.
Okay. Do you want to give me a couple of rolls, one for her and one for yourself, rolling against dex?
Dex rolls?
Yep.
All right, this will be her roll. That is a 36.
Yep, she's fine then.
I wish that was my roll. Here's my roll, which is what is that? A 69. Oh.
Would have been nice if that was upstairs, but unfortunately not.
That's a lot of luck to spend and a lot of pushing. Nope. We had a good start, so I'm not gonna try to press my luck too much at this time. Is this to see how well we move, or
Yeah. This as you run outside, you've got an evident advantage on whoever's coming out of the building. So you just rush past them before they even get time to really react to find out where they're looking for, who they're looking for, and run out into the not the sea of people, but at least the crowd that's out there, because there are people who are taking leisurely strolls out there. A couple of people with fishing rods into the Golden Horn. You're basically weaving through the crowd. Ara runs and is quite easily darting around people. Admittedly, given her attire, she is making a bit of a distraction, or she is distracting people rather.
Mm-hmm.
One such person that you thought was going to be moving and continuing on moving just stops and turns as this sort of half-naked female runs past, and you just run straight into her. Can you roll me a D3?
Oh, no. All right. I'm rolling D6. That's what I have, but 1, 2 equals 1, that whole thing. So I rolled a 5, so that would be a 3.
Okay. That means you lose the next 3 of your movement actions.
Oh. So I collide hard.
Yeah, you don't do any damage, but you just go straight into this. Let's say it's a tourist with a camera that was suddenly just turning and as if to take a shot, and then suddenly they're ploughing into the ground.
The camera's
there's just a sprawl of body on the floor, and you can hear the group from behind, from the doorway. Three of the men there rushing over towards you. They will make it towards you. So it all depends on what you do on your next round to say whether you can get up and get away from them quick.
Okay.
Do you want to roll for Arup again, just to make sure that she doesn't have any problem?
She rolls a 55.
Okay, yep, she's fine. So then for yourself?
So another dex for me?
Yep.
Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of running shoes, that's for sure. I roll, geez, oh Pete, a 73. So that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, that's not so good. They pass their dex check on a 27. So as you are basically getting to your feet, you find yourself surrounded by 3 guys which are leaning in to basically grab you as if, "Oh, we'll help you up, kind sir," grabbing you by both arms and dragging you by the scruff of your neck. They are trying to do a maneuver, so they're going to try and basically grapple you and drag you back to the brothel.
Oh.
How would you react?
Probably my knife. I'd probably try to take it out and slash and stab.
Okay, so you're fighting back.
Yes,
so
I am.
It's your fighting brawl against mine.
All right. Let's see if I can do that a little bit better. And I don't remember what you told me my knife's damage was, because that was a good size, but I guess we can get to that in a minute when we...
1d4 plus 2 plus damage bonus.
Oh, okay. Now I had it right. So my brawl is a 60. Come on, let's do it. I get new dice. 55.
I'm swapping dice. My 95 is definitely not going to beat you there. So you start slashing. You catch one of them across the arm, at which point they all draw back. Even the poor tourist you bundle into at that point just scampers away like a rat, just going, "Fuck this, I'm not staying around," and then starts to leg it. You have a bit of a standoff now. They're not close enough where they can grapple you, but they're pretty much about 6 foot away from you.
Okay. Do I roll damage, or are you?
Yeah, if you want to roll damage, certainly, yeah.
Oh heck yeah, because. Okay. And the damage bonus is a D4. That's a 3 plus still is 5 to the 1.
Oh, you catch him good then. You pretty much scrape this up his arm. The arm of the suit goes, and there's just blood starting to drip down. He actually needs to make a con check at that point, because that is half his hit point.
Definitely poised with a knife, like down, just that whole fighting style. I was like, I'm just a simple tourist. I don't like being molested in the street when I'm on a nice walk with my woman. Best to go back inside now, fellas.
He rolls an 02 on his con check, so he's not unconscious, but he's definitely staggering back, trying to hold on to his arm and dripping blood as he goes. I'll give you an intimidate roll with a bonus die.
Yes, I'll do that. So do you do it when you roll the first dice twice, or you just roll twice?
You can do either or. So it's supposed to be the tens digit that you roll twice.
Okay. So intimidate is a 70. So first roll is a 34, which is a hard success. And just for giggles, Nope, that one's a 44, so I'll take the 34.
Okay. Yep, there's this moment of tension looking behind you. You definitely seem to be making a scene on the promenade. But the three guys look between them and just start backing off. You can see that some other people around, the other tourists and the passers-by are starting to scatter, giving you a good, clear run to the road, where you hear a beep, beep from a cab as Arap is leaning out of the door of a cab that she's already procured in the time that it's taking you to get up and fight.
Hey. Wow, your mother's taught you well, fellas. Have yourselves a good night. Turn and run into the cab and go.
And yep, you leg it out of there, and the car screeches away. Natalia and Robert, you are currently bunkering down against the sniper from the other side of the road. What do you do?
Keep your head down.
How far away is he?
Across the road would put about 25 yards.
What condition is the officer in? Is he like slumped over his desk? Is he on the floor?
He's on the floor. It's like he's been punched and then in the back, and then he's going to rocked forward a bit, but then slumped off to one side.
Okay, so he's not at risk of being shot again.
No.
Okay.
He's not dead. He's just he is very badly wounded.
Yep.
But otherwise, there's no sound. There's no other pot shots being taken because you are discreetly undercover.
Let's see. Now my gun has a range of 15 yards, so that's not going to quite make it.
That's base range, so it just means that you're a penalty die if you want to then do a shot beyond that.
Okay, but what I wanted to do was, like, first of all, see if I can find him exactly where he's at, and then aim. Maybe take a round to aim, and then fire.
That'll work. Doing so puts you in. Obviously, if you can see him, he will more likely be able to see you.
Right.
Give me a stealth roll to see if you can discreetly position yourself so that you can then get the shot.
All right. Let's see if that works. And that's a 28 out of 30.
Okay. We will oppose that by spot hidden.
Yeah.
What degree of success is that for yourself?
28 out of 30, I think.
That's as regular then, yeah. All right. His spot hidden is 55. He rolls 19. That is under half.
So he spots me.
Yeah. But you do spot him. He is where he was previously positioned.
All right.
He is going to take a shot at yourself.
Okay.
Admittedly, you are largely covered, so I am going to give him a penalty die on his shot.
Okay.
He has a rifle skill of 80. Well, if it was a bonus die, he would have got 08. Lucky for you, the other one, he is one of them.
Okay.
There is a loud, well, not a loud bang from him because he's using a silencer, but there is a very loud thud that goes into the wall next to you, and you are bits of plaster and dust get brushed into your eye.
Okay.
Instinctively causing you to flinch back and get out of the way, but you did see where he was.
Okay. I'm going to try to take a shot at him.
Okay. If it's a straight shot without aiming, which this will be, then you will have the penalty die on the roll.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I'll have a penalty die because it'll make sense. He shot at me instead of me taking time to aim. I'll return fire. Mm-hmm. All right. That one was a 63, and wow, and that one was a 16. I still make it.
Okay.
But yeah, that 16 would have been at a
Impale?
Yeah.
Ooh, lucky him then.
Yeah.
All right, roll damage.
All right, so that is 5 points of damage to him.
He has 12 hit points, so it's not enough to make him force a con roll. Though he is still active at the moment.
Okay. All right. I guess at this point, I duck down, and I look over to you, Robert. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, you made me do all the work here.
Are you armed at all?
I am, and I'm getting ready to. Can I ask Natalia? Do you have? Is your gun by any chance? Do you have a silencer on yours?
I always do, just in case. Just in case I need to handle business discreetly.
I'm going to take my pistol out, and I'm going to show you that I do not have a silencer. And I'm looking at you with a question mark, like, should I fire this and get people up here?
Well, if you fire it and get people up here, actually that will make sense. We have somebody that's injured, and if we get more people up here, I think what will happen here is it might drive him away. Meanwhile, I'll still concentrate on him.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So basically, I get the nod, and I'm going to just point my pistol out the window, not aiming at anything. I'm just shooting, bang, 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 just to try and get people's attention.
Okay. You let off 3 rounds in rapid fire.
At him instead of shooting up at the air.
I gotta put my head up there. I'm not sticking my head out in front of a sniper.
He's trained on me.
I will, at least there is a very slim chance you might actually hit him. You can roll firearms, but add 3 penalty die. 1 for multiple shots, 1 for not aiming and being out of range, and 3 for not fucking looking what you're doing.
I'm going to get 3 01s. You watch. Oh, I saw a 0. I got a 30. Oh, got an 03.
Oh, man.
26.
Oh.
Okay. And third penalty die?
That was the third. I got a 30, an 03, and a 26.
Yeah, you've got your regular roll and then 3 penalty die after it.
Oh, 3 after the regular. Oh, okay. There it is, 79.
Okay. Unless is your firearm skill 79 or greater?
No, I'm at 40.
You shoot the sky. There's at least it does what you wanted it to.
Yes, yeah.
There is commotion and panic that starts to erupt from the rest of the police station. There is a flurry of activity which is then headed in your direction. They don't bother to knock; they just break the door down. There's 2 officers which are there holding revolvers pointed in your general direction. What are you 2 doing at this point? You have a cop that's been shot in front of you, and they've just heard gunfire coming from the room.
Yep. I'm going to immediately take my pistol that I just fired, place it on the floor, and put my hands up in the air.
I'm going to tell... I'm still aiming out the window, and I'm going to tell them to get down. We have a shooter across the street.
Okay. As you say, you're still looking out the window. The guy on the other side of the street has heard what you've done, and has pretty much just seen the gun go bang, bang, bang. He's not stupid. He knows what's going to be happening at this point. He is going to try and leg it. So as he moves, you can see him retreat. You've got a good clear shot at his back, but you have 1 chance to take that shot.
Yeah, I'm going to try to take it. And that is a 17 out of 65. So,
ooh.
Bear in mind he's still at long range, so this does get the penalty.
Yeah, all right, yeah, forgot it. Yeah. Let me roll this one. And that is a 29 out of... So that's not a... impale, but that's still a hit.
Okay, roll it.
And that is a 4. 4 points of damage.
Okay, that does force him to make a con check because that takes him over the halfway point. So, in fact, I'll let you make this to see whether you've knocked him out or not. His con is 65. If you can roll equal or under that, then he's up and about and basically has his chance to escape. Otherwise, you see him go down.
Okay. Wow, an 83.
Guess what? You see the body hit the deck. You're not sure if he's dead, but he goes down.
Okay. Now, as I'm shooting, and I tell the officers who run in, get down. There's a guy shooting from across the street, and then I fire out. Do they happen to see him like trying to flee and then fall?
Let's see. Got spot hidden on 40. They look in your direction. They look past the window. Maybe they do see a guy go down, but they get out of the way of the window, it seems. Okay. They're looking. They yell behind them and say, "Get everyone back away from the door." And they start crouching and basically going round the room towards you, trying to stay out of the line of fire from the window. One of the officers that comes up to that looks between you two says, "What the hell happened here? There's a shooter."
There
There's a
was.
shooter. Across the street.
Looks like he went down. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get up and go across the street. Well, head towards that area. I tell the rest of them to see to the man who's been shot.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Let's say you start rushing, and there are various police officers following you and basically accompanying you as you go over.
Okay. Yeah, I can use the help. Yeah, so I'll ask. I'll look to Robert. Are you going to go with me, or are you going to stay with him?
Yes, I will definitely go with you if I'm allowed. I'm expecting us to be under arrest.
They've seen what's happened because they say they passed their spot hidden roll.
Okay.
They don't seem to be holding you responsible, so they're more treating you as not like an innocent bystander, but they'd prefer if you got out of their way, especially as one of the officers does the age-old cry of "medic" and starts trying to get someone to come up and take care of the poor police officer that's just been shot in the back.
Yeah, then in that case, I'll tag along behind Natalia.
Okay.
You get across the other side of the street without any problem. There's, again, a little bit of confusion outside, particularly as there's people that have been out when they heard the gunshot go outside the window. So some people are still ducking for cover, looking up at the police station. Others are moving away quite quickly or otherwise taking cover. You have no obstruction getting across the other side of the street and heading up to the roof on the building there. It's a small office building by the look of it. On the roof, you find a man that, if you had been to the brothel fairly recently, you may have recognised. A rather rugged appearance, all dressed in black, and laying on the ground, sniper rifle fallen by his side. But also, in his outstretched hand as he's lying there unconscious, you see a small, what looks to be mahogany box, about 2 inches cube.
Let's see. I will. I'll have my gun out still. I will put my gun to his head, pull the trigger. That problem's out of the way. And then I will search his person, see if he has any sort of. I doubt he would have any identification on him, but I will look him over to see what else he has on him, and then I will take a look at the box.
No, he has his wallet with him, so you get his identity easy enough from his driver's license that he's carried. The late McKellick lays at your feet with a wallet full of money.
Oh, take the money.
He has a good 300 lira on his person. He has the small mahogany box with him as well, and a small, when you start patting him down, a small quartz orb about the same distance across, about 2 inches wide.
Okay. So I'll pocket these things.
Mm-hmm.
When I opened up what was his name?
Melik Aksoy.
Trying to recognize the surname, see what nationality.
He's native Turk.
Oh, he's a native. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Huh. All right. I look at Robert. Let's go back and read those files.
Do I need to do a distraction or anything like that so that they don't see him taking the box and the orb?
They seem to be pretty much just clearing all these, making sure the scene's clear and making sure there's no one else up here, which does buy you about 20 seconds or so where you can pocket the stuff.
Okay.
You also find one last thing in his pocket actually as well. It actually may be tucked into his wallet. A small key, which looks like it opens a fairly heavy-duty lock.
Okay. Yeah.
And the conversation that's been had between Summerton and Postgate, no, it's not silver.
All right. So we'll go back to the station. I'll check on the guy that I roughed up earlier. Make sure that he's okay. What type of wound did it seem like he received? You say he got shot in the shoulder?
Yeah, he's got basically shot in the shoulder blade, so it's he isn't going to be using his left arm for a while.
Okay, but it wasn't. It didn't hit anything vital.
No, it's not fatal, but it's delivered mechanically. It basically took half his hit points away, but he made this.
Wow. Okay, so he's down for a while. Okay, all right. Well, I'll make it a note to check on him and make sure.
You can.
I'll ask if we can get maybe a room or office where we can read over these files.
They pretty much just want you out the way at this point, given that there's now a crime scene in the middle of the police station.
Okay.
If you want, you can attempt to just take the file and leave, because the amount of confusion around here, you could probably just walk out the front door.
Okay, sounds good.
You wander outside. At that point, there's a taxi which because this is fairly close to the Galata Bridge. You hear a taxi that just comes screeching down the road. Eamon, you can see two familiar faces coming out of the police station.
Oh, what a small world. Cabby, pull over real quick.
He's doing everything quick. He just slams the brakes on, and this taxi comes skidding in front of Robert and Natalia as you come out of the station.
Okay. Well, I'll look at the cabbie. I'll look who's in the back seat. I'll nod and I'll open up the door and hop in.
You need to ride somewhere. Holy shit, we're going fast tonight. Get in.
Perfect time.
Yeah. Let's head back to the hotel.
Yep, back to the apartment.
Mm-hmm. There's enough room for 4 passengers and the cabbie. No big deal.
It's a bit of a squeeze, but yeah, you're pretty much in the back. There's two rows of seats looking at each other, of which there are now more people really than it is designed for. But yeah,
I think Eamon finds himself between both of the ladies and just kind of is like, all right. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
I look at Eamon and I look at this woman, and then I look at what she has on. My eyebrow goes up a bit. And I'm like, we'll talk later.
Okay.
Who's this?
Stories. We have lots to exchange. Where it's safe.
We do.
All right.
Back at the brothel, you hear, Jacoby hears the sound of the front door opening and people scrambling in. There's some rather heated words that are fired between Abdullah and the people up there. You catch something about Damn bastard sliced me open with a knife. Look, my arm's fucked. Get me a medic. Oh, there you go. As if by magic. There we go.
Abdullah.
He opens the door and pokes his head down the stairs into the basement. Yeah?
I am fully trained as a surgeon.
How do you want to earn some money back?
Let me see how it is. Don't worry about that. It's my pleasure. I don't have my instruments, however.
Oh, we've got some basic medical equipment here.
Let's see how bad it is. So.
He ends up taking you upstairs. Obviously the lady deep one, says that we'll talk again. Come to the mansion and we'll chat by the jetty down by the dock.
Fantastic.
She nods and then starts turning back towards the well. Upstairs, we'll have a little montage sequence. Your basic medical equipment is effectively a sewing kit designed to sew up furniture. So the needles are not exactly ideal.
They're the curved needles, though, because that's what you use on upholstery. Okay.
Yeah, just a little thicker than you maybe would want.
Yeah,
a little thicker than the other guy would want.
I do my best to sterilize the thread and the needle and give him something to bite on if he needs it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he winces a bit as you effectively are sewing up a cut that's a good almost a foot and a half long.
And some alcohol. I give him the address of my place if he needs more medical assistance. But otherwise, is there any reason why you can't go to regular hospital?
He says, "I'll take a wander down there. It's just this to make sure that I'm not bleeding all the way."
Right. If they give you any trouble, then come and see me tomorrow or tonight, whatever. It's late. It's late already, so it'd have to be tomorrow.
Yep. He nods in thanks. Abdullah puts a hand on your shoulder then as you're ready to wrap up, and says, "Thank you for this. This means a lot to us. So you're welcome back here anytime you want to come."
I need to make a luck roll. Okay, I passed. If I hadn't passed, I'd be like, I wonder if my friend Mordecai is done. In
the distraction, they haven't gone upstairs.
So I guess I'm going to be distracted and I'm just going to leave. But I'm glowing.
So yeah, you're enthralled right now, right?
Yeah.
Forget about Eamon.
I'll probably think about you as I'm walking up to the apartment. I'll be like, "Oh shit!
I knew there was something I forgot."
I knew there was something.
He knows how to get a cab, though. Yeah, right.
He knows how to get home.
Speaking of a cab, that's heading back to the apartment. Somerton and Postgate have a little bit left with Vahidi before they turn up. So is there anything else you want to go over with her?
Why me?
There you go.
I could have chosen anyone. You were when we met. He was the one that when he decided to find anyone that was awake and alone at that point, you were the one that the face came up, and it was just that you happened to be there and you happened to be awake on your own. It was just simply that it was you. That was it. There wasn't that we necessarily chose you. You were just you were the person at the right time.
So what's he intending to do next?
Well, like I said, he's been trying to find where the hell Aksoy is and trying to get a message to him to come here and to try to take you out. That's what his pet assassin does. He takes care of business, but he's still a player in the underworld. He might be, say, out doing a job at the moment. We just don't know. But so that if you can get the hell out of here, get to some other place, maybe a hotel, maybe if the agency can put you up somewhere else. I don't know how this works for you guys.
When we met before, you gave me something.
Yes.
If I were to use that something, where would I end up?
She puts her hand slowly into her pocket and so with the other hand just gestures, "Don't worry, nothing bad," and pulls out another one. These are connected. I can come to you or you can come to me.
Ah.
That's why I asked you to keep it on you at all times, so that I could come to you rather than to where you would have left the field.
Yes.
So the cloaking doesn't work.
Well,
The cloaking only affects when someone is using time to scry us. Other means of divination aren't affected by it.
correct. It's a temporal cloak, so it prevents us from looking into the future to say, where would you be when you're most vulnerable? Where are you going to be at this time of day? Where are you going to be, or when are you going to be at X, Y, and Z? If I was to remotely scry you in the here and now, that's only space. So that takes out the temporal component. That would see you. But it would mean we still need to know where, we'd be able to find where you are, but we'd be actively looking. That's not how Solomon operates. He is very much about looking to get the most opportune moment, the moment that is to his advantage, but that's always looking to the future.
So when was he planning to carry out his ritual before he found out that there were other players?
Well, he was planning to do it a year ago. All he thought he had to do was wipe the board of the Brotherhood of the Skin, this somewhat sadistic and foul group that were in town. That he was planning to take them out. His plan took a while to put it into fruition, because there were quite a few of them. But with the right timing, he was able to have Melik take them out in one night, because they were all fairly close together. Apart from, we suspect one got through the net, but we haven't been able to find him since. Every time we look to see where this individual is, we just keep getting a different face. So we're not sure what's happening. Maybe he's just bouncing the read onto someone else. That somehow he's a bit like what you said the Tesseract are doing, whereas they're blanking themselves completely. We were thinking he was just diverting his trace to another individual, because as far as we can tell, it's just dropping on some information dealer, this huge guy that sits up at the Galata Tower most evenings.
Well, what about the other players, like people like the Black Brotherhood and so forth? Aren't they interfering with his plans?
Well, we've had no contact with them. We know of them, but we've never had any contact with them. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if Solomon tried to recruit them to get rid of his problems. He's the kind of man that would.
And when I originally met him, I had no idea he was so thoroughly amoral.
He ditched morals a long time ago.
Maybe so.
Speaking of loose morals, or at least no morals, at this point, a taxi draws up. You can hear the opening and closing of doors down on the street as you're up on the roof. And then various people bundling outside and heading towards the apartment.
I'll look over the side.
Yeah, you recognise you recognise 1, 2, 3. You recognise 3 of the people getting out, but there's a lady with them in a long black coat that doesn't seem to be wearing much else.
It appears we have company.
And if she looks around, do you mean I should go, or?
That's entirely up to you.
Oh, can I trust these people? I know, obviously, she gestures towards your tie. I think I can trust you. And she turns to Len Summerton that you seem amiable with this, but what about the others?
Well, I can assure you that we're all on the same side.
Okay. She nods. Then,
I hope.
and I'll say I think we should all have a chat. At this point, then the rest of you, as you've come in, I'll say minus the doctor who's currently sewing up a very long cut. The three of you find that there's no one else inside the apartments, or at least the regular apartments and the communal area. So head up to the roof and find Postgate Summerton and Vahidi there.
I'll fill them in then on what happened with Ekmechi at the university, that he knows about the cloak, and then summarize Vahidi's information, or she could do that.
Is this a rooftop conversation?
Yeah,
it is. Yes.
I will see my date to my room before that happens, just so we're clear on information. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. Yep. She goes down there, basically just curls up on the bed and just rocks back and forth for a bit.
Good. So she's safe. Anyway.
I'll also mention that it appears that Ekmechi has a hitman, a guy by the name of Aksoy.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Natalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll no longer be a problem.
This is where you speak up.
He'll no longer be a problem. I assure you that.
Well, that's good.
Cool one-liners. Yeah.
Vahidi looks a little concerned by that, raising an eyebrow and says, "What do you mean he won't be a problem?"
I'll pull out his wallet and I'll place it on the on the table. Or I'm imagining that the rooftop has like a sort of a circular sun table, you know, like where people can hang out, smoke, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just toss it on a little table there. Like, yeah, we were looking for some information earlier, and I'll hold up the vanilla folder. And while we were talking to one of the officers down at the station, he tried to take out the officer for whatever reason. Little gunfight, and again, he's no longer an issue. And I'll look to Robert, thanks to Robert and his sharp shooting.
It was an easy target.
Who knew you could say you had a sharpshooter in your midst? In the interest of bringing everyone back together, then, as you say, you're letting Vahidi explain what's already she's gone over with you guys. That will cover the time difference needed to get Jacoby back. So at this point, you can arrive.
So I go up the stairs, and I figure, since I don't see anybody about, they're probably up on the roof.
Yeah, you can hear conversation happening up there.
So
well, it's muffled anyway, so the bugs won't pick it up, but you can just about hear someone's up there.
I head up. I haven't changed, but I go on up. So actually, nobody is seen me in this get up.
Probably smell too,
except for Eamon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you probably smell like booze and
I smell like fish.
Fish and the sea, man.
So I go upstairs and I walk in while you guys are all in your middle of your conversation.
Oh,
I don't say anything.
You're alive.
Eamon, oh, good, you made it out of there.
You made it out of there. What the?
I had a wonderful time, didn't you?
Yeah, right. We'll talk. And just takes a drag out of a cigarette and turns away.
He brought his wonderful time at home with him, didn't you, even?
Really?
Thanks, Natalia.
Now, this is why I started doing desk work. It's always like this out in the field. Everything just rumbles along, and then suddenly, all at once, it all goes to shit.
Vahidi nods at that. Yeah, if speaking of shit, if you've taken out Melik, Suleiman might resort to more drastic methods. Like I say, he doesn't have contact with the Black Brotherhood, but he has other things that he can call. And if he decides to set one of those things on you, then you're going to need to be prepared.
Well, it looks like I'll need to be prepared. We had no other choice. It was in self-defense.
All right.
And on that ominous note, we will leave it with all of you, apart from Mr. Combs, who is still mysteriously gone.
I don't trust that guy.
I don't.
He's always sneaking off.
He's sleeping with people. Our players.
Well, as long as he's not sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah. Keep my private life out of this, okay? Our players included Jeff Wilkins, Bill Mize, Lucas Glasshauer, Mick Swan, Wayne Worthy, and myself, with Matthew Sanderson as the Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We really enjoy reading them. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.